fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX KUMONOSLAYER from Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. We finally have the sixth member of the team here, Spider Kumonos. This suit is absolutely beautiful. I love the way this turned out. Really, really cool looking. And this sword here is his henshin device. It does come with two keys over here. We have the Change Kumonos key and the Shoe God Kumonos key. And then we get this thing over here that, I'll be honest, kind of looks like the lid of a coffee cup. And that is the Kumonos key holder. It's just a key ring, and it can fit on the side of the belt if you bought that thing. Like I unfortunately did. We talked about that yesterday. But in any case, front of the box, very cool here, very colorful, showing everything that's included. Taking a look at the top here, showing you kind of the two configurations. You kind of close up the legs, then when you turn the key, they spring open. Another pic of the suit over here, looking very cool. He's kind of got like a little keyhole here on that thing on his back, which is kind of interesting. Taking a look on the bottom here, just again, another picture of the suit and your general warnings and whatnot. Batteries are included. You get two LR44 watch batteries, which is always nice. Don't have to provide your own batteries. Over here, just another pic of the suit, and again, showing you that the holder can fit onto the belt there. And then over here on this side, it is telling us that there is another key. So this is the Venomix shooter, which is another weapon that he has. We'll take a look at that probably tomorrow. I did get that as well. And that comes with the Venomix Kumonos key, which does have functionality in this, and we'll take a look at that when I do that tomorrow, showing you that you can pop that into the sword there. Spinning it around to the back, just kind of showing us more of the same. This is the change key, so of course we're going to use that to transform and then pop those spider legs open. And then the Shoe God's Kumonos key gives him kind of like a tarantula mode. He gets these like, you know, iron spider looking legs that pop out the back, which is kind of cool. And then this is showing us that the Venomix Kumonos key, I'm assuming, is some kind of attack. This says Venomix Kumonos key, I don't know. I don't know what that says, I'll be honest. I'll have to look at that later. But it's obviously some other kind of attack. So we got that going on. So this is cool. I'm excited for this. I think this suit looks really, really cool. I'm excited to see more of him on the show. So let's go ahead. Let's get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the box. We'll get this thing out of the way real quick. I still maintain that it really looks like the lid of like a Starbucks coffee, but it does have a little clip. And it's nice, it's kind of an open-ended clip. It's not sealed at the bottom, so you don't have to thread the belt through it. If you want to just put this even in like the pocket of your pants, you could. Should be able to clip onto just about whatever. Basically, this little piece on the side here slides up, and you can see that it's kind of like it goes most of the way, and then it naturally wants to fit down. So it goes down, goes up, and that's nice because it kind of, you know, if it's in a kind of middle section, like it wants to get into a groove, and then clips into place. But you slide it up, you take the two keys, you slide them on, slide it closed, there you go, you got a key ring. It serves its purpose, whatever, that's the end of that thing. We'll take a look at the two keys here. So we have the Change Kumonos key, nicely painted, white and gold there, looks pretty sharp. And here is the key down here. And then we have the Shoe God Kumonos key, which is just painted silver. Also looks pretty sharp. Honestly, I think they're the same. You know, the spider part is the same, just painted differently. But of course, the keys are different. So you can see that there. So those are our two keys. We'll put those off to the side for the moment so we can focus on the KUMONOSLAYER. I think this thing looks really, really cool. First and foremost, I love the color scheme. You have this purple with a gray. You have this teal. Colors work really well together. I really like the look of that. You have the spider up here. You have the legs folded up right now. You have the keyhole for the keys. The spider eyes do light up red, which is very cool. On the back here, obviously no paint. It's a little hollow. Unfortunately, there's also no on and off switch for this, which is kind of a bummer, I have to admit. But the batteries do come included in this little panel here. You just pull the tab out. If you would ever need to replace them, you just unscrew that one screw and then the panel comes off. There's nothing under here. There's no trigger button or anything because I believe you're supposed to hold it like this, and then the button is actually here on the top that you hit with your thumb. And you can see the LED eyes light up there. So that just gives you this kind of generic slashing sound. If you hold it down, doesn't do anything special. So really, without the keys, that's all this thing does on its own. It just makes that one sound. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that on its own. So let's go ahead and transform. So we will take our change key and we'll just go ahead and pop this in. I have this backwards. So it says Spider Kimonos. I don't know. I feel like the speaker on mine might be going, but I try to watch some other videos, and I guess that's just kind of what it sounds like. It's kind of garbled, I'll admit, and it's kind of a guttural, deep voice, but that's what we got. Hitting the button after you transform. Nothing new there, so that is the transformation. But if we take this and we open it and close it again, so we get an attack sound there. The standby music on this is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's really, really cool. But that is going to do it for this one. So we'll pop that out and close these back up. And then we will try our Shoe God's key. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. So he says Tarantula Kimonos, and that gives him, I guess, that Tarantula mode that we saw on the back of the box there. And then we can do an attack sound with this as well. So we get 4 different standby music sounds, and honestly, all 4 of them are absolutely fantastic. I love that. But that's kind of all this does on its own. Of course, it is going to have functionality with the 3rd key, which we'll take a look at when I look at the Venomix shooter. But yeah, that's kind of it for this. It's not a ton going on with it in terms of functionality, but I like it a lot. I think it's fun having the eyes light up. I think it's fun having the spider legs flip open. Like I said, I absolutely love the color scheme. The generic slash sound, it's fine. I mean, there's nothing, you know, I get it. It's a sword. It has a generic slash sound. But you get the transformation and then an attack after that with the change key. And then you get the tarantula mode and an attack sound after that with the Shoe God key. All 4 of the standby musics are absolutely fantastic. The attack sounds are kind of cool. Like I said, a lot of times it's kind of hard with the voice they chose to understand exactly what he's saying. But still fun. I still like it a lot. And I love this color scheme. It looks really, really good. But yeah, that's kind of it for this one. But I do like it a lot. And like I said, there will be more functionality once we take a look at the Venomix shooter. I'll bring this back so we can check out that key. But yeah, pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. But I know there's one burning question that a lot of people out there are going to have. So we'll take a look at that. So when we have another Sentai using keys, of course, comparisons are going to be made. People want to know if stuff is cross-compatible. We'll go ahead and flip this up, and unfortunately, I can say that they do not work. They are probably the same width going this way, but these are a little bit thicker. So if we take a look, let me see if I can line this up in such a way. So this part of the key, you can see, is not nearly as tall as the Ranger key. So because of that, this is going to be too thick to work in the KUMONOSLAYER. So if I bring it in here real quick, this will not be able to fit in because it's too big to fit in that area. It's too thick. I can't do anything with that. So unfortunately, cannot put Ranger keys in the KUMONOSLAYER. But you might think to yourself, well, you know, they're thinner. They should be able to work in the Mobirates. So if we open up the Mobirates here and we take one of these keys, you can actually put it in. It will slide in and get to about that far, but it does not want to turn. So I don't know what's going on inside, but it does not want to turn, and I'm certainly not going to force it. But it can actually fit in, which is interesting. So I'm assuming maybe this part's too tall or something. If we bring this in again and we line this up, it might be that, you know, this part is longer and so it doesn't have enough oomph to turn it, something like that. Or maybe this part down the bottom is not long enough. I don't know. The proportions are definitely off. You can see they're the right width in terms of from here to here. But, you know, this part is a little bit longer. This part's a little bit longer. So maybe that, you know, it doesn't have enough to turn the mechanism, and I really don't want to force it. But it will fit in the Mobirates, but it just won't turn, unfortunately. And this guy will not fit in the KUMONOSLAYER at all. I think this thing is pretty cool. It doesn't have a ton of functionality, honestly, but the functionality it has, I really like. You kind of get 2 sounds per key, kind of a change sound and then an attack sound. Each has its own kind of standby music, which I really, really like. That's 4 unique jingles. I think that's actually really cool. And honestly, all 4 of them are fantastic. I love them a lot. This thing looks really cool. I absolutely love the color scheme. These colors work so well together. I love how you have the spider eyes light up red. That's really fun. It's fun to just have keys again. It's a bummer they're not cross-compatible with Ranger keys. That is kind of a bummer, but it's still fun to just have keys to play with again. I like having the button here on the end, honestly, because this area is already kind of small, and the way you're supposed to hold it, it makes sense to just have that button you can activate with your thumb instead of having a trigger underneath this area, which I think would be a little too tight, so I think that's really cool. The keys are awesome. I love the look of them. Yes, it's just kind of the same spider key, but painted differently, but it's still fun. The ring holder is here. You know, it's doing its job. I do like the way how it kind of naturally wants to be either in the open or fully closed position. You know, it won't get stuck in the middle or while if you're wearing it, I should say. I don't think you'll have a problem with them falling off because it kind of naturally wants to click one way or the other. It's got almost like a little spring-loaded gimmick in there, which is kind of cool. I also like how it's just like a clip and not something you have to feed the belt through. So if you actually wanted to just clip this on your pants pocket, you could. You don't have to use any specific belt with it, which is kind of nice. Honestly, if I had to complain about anything, I kind of wish it had an on and off switch. A lot of times with these things that use the smaller watch batteries, once you pull the tab out, it's just kind of on all the time. And it's nice to have an on and off switch, so in case you're moving it or handling it, you don't want to accidentally set off any sounds or anything like that. So it is kind of a bummer it doesn't have that. I feel like Bandai had been pretty good recently about things using the smaller watch batteries and actually giving them on and off switches. So it's a little weird that they kind of didn't do that here. Again, not a huge problem, just a minor complaint. Really the only thing I can think about to complain, other than the fact that it doesn't have a ton of functionality. But again, we do have one more key to try in here, so there will be a little bit more functionality. But I think it's fun. I mean, I don't know if they'll do more keys down the line, or if there'll be something you can hook onto this and, you know, give them a power-up or something like that. Only time will tell. But for right now, I think this thing's a lot of fun. I think it looks great, and I really like the sounds that it plays. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.